Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hot Buddy Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along to the beginning of a new Odyssey. We have ended the Mikey Carroll Lotto Lout Odyssey that finished last week, and this is the beginning of a new one. And there's a reason behind it that we're launching it now. This week sees the 6th anniversary of the very first episode of Top Flight Time Machine.
Wow.
Happy birthday to us, Sam.
What a ride it's been. And you're not here, so I can't present it to you, but for both of us, I have made a birthday cake made entirely of dog food, like the ones they used to make on Blue Peter for the dogs.
With dogs. Or the ones they had on Big Brother the other night, Celebrity Big Brother. There was a bit of dog food that they were supposed to be eating.
Really?
It's one of the challenges. I don't think they did that.
Remember, though, we actually looked in and managed to find the recipe for Goldie / Petra / Shep's dog food cakes. They always... That for me was the best thing ever on Blue Peter, which was...
They always look so tasty.
A shit show, let's be honest now. Let's be really brutally honest with ourselves. Blue Peter was really shit. But the best bit was always when they made the dog a lovely birthday cake out of dog food. So, I've made us one of those.
You'd watch it just in case something good.
You'd watch it just in case it was one of the dog's birthday.
Sit through the rest of the shit.
Fucking Blue Peter. Oh, my God. Well, fingers crossed it's one of the dog's birthdays.
Yes. Meat cake.
But what was it's been a great 6 years, hasn't it? I would say my highlight, was it being sent a free electric fanny by one of the top executives at Superdrug? Possibly. I tell you, a really good moment was when the fanny powder flag was visible during Janet Jackson's performance at Glastonbury in, I think, that 2020, maybe. Something. Oh, no, there wouldn't have been a Glastonbury in 2020. I think it might have been right back in 2019. Before, I think it was, yeah. That was good, though, wasn't it?
Fucking hell, that was early then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fanny powder had already taken the nation by storm.
Well, it was right down the barrel of the Janet Jackson's eyeline, wasn't it?
So she saw it. She loved it.
I've just put Janet Jackson into Google, and autofill's just made it into Janet Jackson fanny powder. Yeah, so that must be the most popular thing about Janet Jackson.
It's the most famous moment in her career, yeah.
I don't know when she was on. 2019 it was. Fucking hell. How about that?
Another highlight
was a year, just over a year into the endeavour.
Another highlight was when the widow of the man from the Lamb Chops advert became a fan and got in touch.
I can top that. My highlight is when we got to see Zippy and George.
Oh, yeah.
From Rainbow.
Yeah, that was good.
We got exclusive photographs of them together for the first time in years, because they'd retired from public life, and we were doing the Rainbow Odyssey, and we received photographic evidence that they are still alive and kicking.
That's amazing. We've been through so much. Brexit.
We have.
That. COVID.
Yeah.
What else? Other thing. The death of the Queen, of course.
Yeah. World Cup.
Couple of World Cups. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's the 6th anniversary this week. And not too long ago, we received a fantastic email from a fella called Callum, who has put together a spreadsheet with ideas that we've come up with over the years, over the episodes, going right back to the very beginning, and his list only went up to autumn 2021, so it's not comprehensive, but there's 633 items on there, and we thought it would be a good idea to revisit them individually, one by one. So this could go on for maybe a year. The Kevin Keegan Odyssey went 50 episodes, and I think that...
Yeah, I mean, we're basically reviewing 3 years of Top Flight Time Machine ideas in one Odyssey. So, I mean, each of those ideas could be an Odyssey in themselves, and so it goes on.
We'll see.
It's like The Matrix or Inception or some other film, high-concept film that I haven't seen.
It could be speed Odysseying.
Yeah, might have to be. Well, we'll just dip in on the ones we particularly like the look of. Because, of course, a lot of them are just absolute shit. What's interesting to me, though, is that we often, I suppose we've been talking about something and it's sparked an idea for something else. And some of the ideas actually were things that were probably worth pursuing. But, of course, we don't take notes or remember anything. I delete everything that we've said on these podcasts within seconds of saying it, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've only just started making proper lists like about 3 months ago. But the first entry on this spreadsheet is from 18th of June 2018, which is like almost it's 3-month anniversary. The first 3 months we had no ideas in any of the episodes. We came up with nothing.
Well, when we started doing the World Cup ones, that seemed to be a moment in which like people got more into it.
Yeah.
Because we were doing Premier League seasons and then the World Cup came on and you were like, let's do some World Cup look-backs. And that was also when Miranda Sawyer wrote back. Not that I think that made a big difference to our listenership, but it was the first bit of public sort of recognition we got. She wrote a thing and she mentioned Mr. Sausage in her review.
Right.
I remember she wrote a review saying it was funny, the podcast was funny, and as evidence for this... Because she's a good journalist, Miranda, so she had to use supporting evidence.
She knows what's what.
She knows what's what, and she's gone. They come up with an idea called Mr. Sausage. So think on. I think that's the sort of words she used. Yeah.
So she, well, this is 3 months in. So when we first started, we were putting out one episode every 2 weeks.
Fucking hell.
What the fuck? And now, of course, we are podcasting non-stop around the clock. Even when we're not putting episodes out, we still record.
Well, we weren't getting any dough out of it at this stage, right? And we were still we were still fucking dishing out ideas as golden as Mr. Sausage for free. No fucker was paying us.
Possibly peaked with Mr. Sausage.
Yeah.
So that's the first one that's on this list. The World Cup 1990 episode. Mr. Sausage as World Cup England mascot.
I think that was based on the fact that we'd been talking about how a lot of the other mascots were just a food stuff that country was famous for, but with a face drawn on it and arms and legs. And so Spain was, what was he called? The orange?
It was Naranjito. The orange.
Then, of course, Piqué, was it? The jalapeno pepper. Yeah.
Jalapeno.
And he was in Mexico and he was a jalapeno pepper. So we thought, well, why don't they make the England one a sausage, which is the national food of England? And that's simply it. And I think a couple of we've got a few artists who are fans of the podcast, and they actually designed So there was a few designs of Mr. Sausage submitted.
Yeah.
Although where they are now, I don't know. It would be wonderful to do some World Cup T-shirts with Mr. Sausage on, wouldn't it? For this World Cup coming up.
That.
Yeah.
We should do that. We'll have to negotiate with the people who submitted them, and obviously give them a very, very meagre
or tiny amount,
for their design.
An insulting amount, you might say.
Yes, and then we of course reap the benefits.
Yeah,
at the back end. Mr. Sausage, World Cup mascots, also in that episode. Are you writing stuff down now?
Yeah, well, I'm just because I am thinking of doing a T-shirt binge soon, and he actually has made note of numerous different T-shirt ideas we've had over the years, but not followed up on. And I am going to do Mr. Sausage.
Good.
Okay.
What we'll do is just take whatever the best one is, and you just just do a copy of it.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah.
In the way that high street retailers usually do, they'll steal designs of small independent designers.
Yeah, we'll rip it off.
Whether it be clothes or paintings or whatever, and just rip them off. Just rip them the fuck off.
Yeah.
I'll cut that bit out. So the second one is same episode, TV show called Kids in Jail, based on Andy's secondary school experience. I don't know what that secondary school experience was. Maybe it was the time when we had the miners' strike, and the kids picketed the school gates and threw rocks at the teachers' cars. No, I don't think anyone went to jail for that. I don't think anybody went to jail for it, but maybe they should have done.
What, you were recreating the You were inspired by the miners' strike to sort of do the same sort of shit, but student strike.
It was during the strike, and I guess a lot of the kids' dads were picketing at the pit that was just kind of around the corner from where the school was. So kids do get influenced by what their parents do sometimes.
Yeah,
and some of the rowdier element among my shiny raw brethren decided to picket the school gates and chuck rocks at the teachers' cars and stuff.
Fucking hell.
Wild.
Yeah,
got in the Daily Mirror.
I seem to remember we were just talking about as well, just generally how secondary school felt like going to prison when you first rocked up, and there was all these older, rougher kids, and there was like the playground was basically the exercise yard, and there was prison vibes. Yeah,
you just think your mind back at school, and you just think grey. It was grey, all of it. Sausage Island is the TV show
with a sex tree
for West Ham and Sunderland.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that, but I do remember something about Roger Miller fucking a tree that was popular at the time.
Yeah, he had a sex tree.
Yeah, it must be that.
That'll tally because that was a World Cup '94 episode. Yeah, World Cup 2002 episode. TV show featuring El Hadj Diouf buying houses.
Well, there's a story behind this, isn't there?
This is allegedly this is when he signed for Sunderland in whenever it was, about 2008. Under Roy Keane signed El Hadj Diouf. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Crazy times.
And apparently, El Hadj Diouf turned up at the Academy of Light training complex, signed his deal, and then immediately drove 200 feet to the nearest house to the training complex, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, I want to buy your house. How much you want for it? I'll give you £1 million.
No problem.
For your house."
You know who I am? El Hadj Diouf.
And they didn't sell it to him, so he had to buy somewhere else a bit further away from the training ground. So he just thought, right, fuck this, that's the training ground there, there's some houses down there, I'll have one of them, and then I can just walk up to work every morning, or drive or cycle. And it does feel very El Hadj Diouf, that. Wow. Now we're getting onto it. World Cup 2014. He's got like categories as well for types of idea: merch, film, TV, TFTM event, TFTM motto. Yeah, and this is an event. Shitfest. Yeah, TFTM festival in Powell Park, where Matthew Judkins shit out of the tree.
Yeah,
a very, very classic early story on Top Flight Time Machine. I hope this is inspiring people to go back and listen to the early episodes if they've never done it. Go right back.
This is all pre-jaded, this stuff.
Yeah, we were in our pomp when we were doing this. You can tell as well. I'm going to just scroll down towards the bottom and see if I can find any evidence of jadedness.
Where the point, there's an exact point where jadedness kicks in.
Right at the bottom. The Twits Odyssey Part 21. September 2021. Merch, T-shirt, writing in pencil is for cunts.
That's a good one. That is a good T-shirt.
Pencils are for cunts. T-shirt, I'm a pencil avoider.
Fucking pencils. I can't remember why we were against pencils. And maybe it was because, like, you know, when you're at school, you get upgraded, don't you, from pencil to pen?
To pen.
But that depends on how good your handwriting's coming along, right?
Yeah, it does.
And so you feel very second class with a pencil, and I think that carries on into adulthood, doesn't it?
We got fountain pen, but if you weren't quite good enough for fountain pen, you had to do biro first until you were ready for fountain pen.
I'm not ready for fountain pen now, mate.
No, I wasn't. I was one of the last to get upgraded to fountain pen.
Fountain pen's a fucking nightmare. My wife got me one for a present a couple of years ago. I've still got. I barely use it. I pretend to her that I do, but I mean, I just can't get the fucking hang of it, to be honest.
I think that we've sung the praises of fountain pens in the past, but let's be honest, they're Tory.
They're Tories, yeah. Yeah, they're Tory pens.
But then the week before, in the jaded era of 2021, T-shirt, I'm a 2-pump pirate. So,
Yeah.
Can't beat that. Get back to the top of the list.
Pirate's good. Just writing that down.
Yeah, definitely.
I've just seen under merch one that is a balaclava with "not a nonce" written on it. I don't know if we can get a balaclava manufactured by our current merch provider.
On Redbubble.
Yeah, Redbubble. This is back when the Latvians were doing it. Your balaclava, no problem. You give me 2 days.
If I knew how to work Excel, I would just go to all the merch ones, put the merch ones together, and then just crack on with that. I've
got 2 merch ones here. T-shirt, keep it soft touch, and another T-shirt, soft touch only.
Is this what's?
I think soft touch. From? I can only imagine. I can't remember, but we were probably just talking about how things like devices where it's soft touch are fucking awesome, but buttons are a hassle.
Yeah. It was old VHS machines, wasn't it?
I think another time we've said that buttons are really good. So because we were talking about how like you loved going up to the buttons on like level crossing on zebra crossing, not zebra level crossings, and you go like press, or in the lift. If you've got 2 kids, when your kids are young, you get in the lift. They always have a big row over who gets to press the button. He did it last time. He fucking did it last time. It's my turn to push it.
I'll fucking do it.
Shut up. Hey, I'm going to push the button myself. How do you like that? Neither of you get to press the fucking button. Because you couldn't. You were too immature.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño.
I'll scroll down for some more merch. TFTM magazine about coining and images from the Cuntness Summers pictures. The front image would be of a man with a coin for a head.
Yeah. On the coins. That was the name of the magazine, on the coins.
Back to Shitfest.
Yeah.
Matthew Junkins, the Powell Park TFTM Festival. Event includes Lightning Seeds, New Order, Chaz and Dave. Chaz now no longer sadly with us.
Yeah.
World Cup mascots, World Cup party, prostitute out of the Chelsea tattoo guy. What that is? Don't know what that is.
The Chelsea tattoo guy. Oh, I've got a vague memory of that. Yeah. Oh yeah. He got he. That was a guy I know, and he went out to Thailand. Unfortunately, he's got a number of dependency issues, and
right.
And when he was out in Thailand, he fell in love with a prostitute and got her name tattooed on his fucking arm, and then had to go back and explain it to his wife.
Like Neville and Avina's imp, Lottie.
Oh God!
Fucking hell. So anyway, £5 ticket price to get in the Shitfest. Onwards, World Cup 2018 episode. Music idea. Gary Barlow concept album called It's Avoidance, Not Evasion.
About Gary Barlow's complex tax issues.
Gary Barlow talks about tax issues with bonus track about how you can avoid tax. One track is just Gary Barlow reading his receipts.
That's good.
Oh man, this is the most self-indulgent fucking concept.
Yeah, it is.
we've ever done.
I apologise, but luckily this is only hardcore fans listening to this. This can never go public. In fact, never put it out for free.
No, I was going to put this one out for free as a special bonus
Oh,
for
right,
everyone.
okay.
It's our birthday.
Well, if there's any first-time listeners, they'd be like, nah, fuck this.
No,
I saw someone the other day.
For people.
I saw someone tweet, yeah, what we really need is more podcasts with just two middle-class white guys talking at each other. They weren't. It wasn't aimed at us. It was aimed at the general, But the thing is, I couldn't help but notice that the guy who tweeted it was a middle-class white guy. I thought to myself, I know what's going on here. One word, Fanny. He's after Fanny, this lad. It's fucking... And I thought, do you know what? Even though it's indirectly aimed at me and what I do, I'll say, fair enough, mate. Do what you got to do. Everyone at some stage in their life has a Fanny-driven agenda. You're obviously working to one now, right? And whoever it is, whatever lass it is you got your eye on, you think she's going to respond well. So you go, yeah, because the world really needs to hear more from middle-class, middle-aged white guys, right? Am I right?
I can see what
anyway,
your
can you
agenda
suck
is.
me off now?
It's a very wafer thin agenda. It's very blatant. We can see what you're doing very clearly.
It's very transparent, mate. But good. All I would say to that bloke is, good luck, mate. Good luck.
Yeah.
And if we're like minor collateral damage with you having a go at us for being cliches or whatever, then that's fine. But if you end up getting off with this lass that you're after, then I'm happy for you.
It.
Yeah.
Oh, World Cup 2018 episode, a term, two foxes from the same barn, e.g. Piers Morgan and Donald Trump.
Is that that definitely sounds to me like one that you came up with. That's got the mark of Dawson around it. It's got the poetry of Dawson. But are you sure that is something that we invented? I feel like I've heard it. Or maybe I've just heard it from you.
It might be from somewhere else. Yeah. It might be, yeah. Then there's the episode called Rubbing Pellegrini's Face, which I think was our very first one, which was non-specifically a football season or tournament. It was the first Monday episode, if you like.
Right, okay.
And the TFTM motto emerged from that, which is "Tactics are for cunts."
Well, that does deserve a T-shirt because that has lasted the distance. I mean, some of these things haven't, but "Tactics are for cunts" remains one of the key sort of things to this day, doesn't it? So that will get a T-shirt.
It's the moment we deviated away from football.
Oh, that was right back when Pellegrini was manager. That's how long we've been doing it. That seems a lifetime ago because he was our manager. And then he went and Moyes came back and we called him the tree man because his face looked like a very ancient tree. And I think that's why we would say like you could rub it, you could like a brass rubbing or a bark rubbing.
Yeah. Same episode, a film TV idea. TV show about two men, one podcast and a goose. The goose is in the recording booth and it follows the antics which unfold.
Wow. Okay. I think we were quite into geese for a while.
Yeah. Next one, website, a league table of corporate sponsors / partners of football clubs. That's a bit football-y and therefore quite dull. Podcast episode, podcast about the canteens in British home stores and other department stores in the 1980s. Write that down, Sam. Write that down. Definitely doing that.
But do you think we can find enough data about those? Like, there'll probably be YouTube footage, won't there? And certainly lots of Google image.
There'll be local newspaper. I think we can go to the archives. We go to the British Library.
Yeah, get on the old microfiche.
Have a pipe about in the microfiche.
Yeah.
4 podcast ideas came from that week. Second one was the podcast detailing news about the sky that week and what happened in the sky.
Yeah, that's good.
You call Sky News, I suppose. Podcast about Glenn Tamplin of Billericay. I don't know who he is.
I'm going to Google him now.
Do it. Well, it says here at least 26 episodes, so it must have been important.
Tamplin, Tamplin.
Tamplin. Glenn Tamplin. 2 N's in Glenn.
Oh, he comes up straight away. Glenn Tamplin, Billericay, businessman and investor, it says. Oh, here he is. He's got his own fucking Wikipedia page, mate. Glenn David Tamplin is an English businessman, investor and former football club owner and manager. He became known for his time at Billericay Town. which he was co-owner, director, and manager. He's also the principal owner of AGP Steel. In 2017, he ranked second in the Essex Power 100 list, mate. Being named the second most powerful person in Essex. That's amazing. Wow. I tell you, that's got to be James Cleverley now, because he's the Home Secretary and he's from Essex.
Yeah, read the next line though, Sam.
On 12th April 2023, the High Court of Justice declared Glenn Tamplin bankrupt. Oh, no. All right, well, we'll return to that another time. Bad luck, Tamplin.
That's what can happen, though. You bounce back from stuff like that.
You know what they say as well? Failure's the new success. That's what they say.
Is that what they say now?
That's what I've heard on the street. So you should be celebrating, Glenn, because this is just the start of something new. This opens up a whole new range of opportunities. Right, what's next?
In September 2016, Tamplin was fined a total of 45 grand after Man's Waste Management Limited illegally dumped more than 6,000 tonnes of controlled waste on the grounds of his home. What?
What's all this?
Is that his own company? Has he done that himself? The court found Tamplin acted negligently to a high degree in committing the offences, and the buried household and commercial waste could have interfered with nearby flood defences. Fucking hell. Yeah, this does feel podcast worthy.
Yeah, Glenn Tamplin is a guy who plays fast and loose with society's rules. Of interest.
Anyway, we'll move on. There's another podcast idea. Podcast from Ridley Scott's office toilet.
Ridley Scott's been a persistent person of interest, hasn't he, over the years?
Mostly because of his toilets and the hand dryer.
The hand dryers. I stand by it. The hand dryers in his fucking offices are the best hand dryers I've ever experienced in any country. And what I said at the time, and I believe still to be true, no one's contradicted it, is that he designed and built them himself. Because he was dissatisfied with the ones that were available on the market, so he
market leaders.
That's what he's like. Yeah. Ridley Scott. You go, well, if something's not good enough, that's because I, Ridley Scott, have not designed and built it. So I will just design and build. I tell you what, you put your hands under them. I've washed my hands in his offices. You put your hands under them within half a second, they're the driest they've ever been. They're so dry, you have to make use of the complimentary hand cream that he has in little pumps over the sink. Because if not, your skin will flake off.
I think those been...
Be careful, because those will dry your hands down to the fucking bone. If you keep them under there too long, they'll dry that hard that they'll eat away at the flesh and you'll come out with a fucking hand like Skeletor, you cunt.
I think he's been a pioneer, though. Because I think hand dryers have drastically improved in the last few years. So
I was thinking that the other day, because I was in a pub yesterday at the football, and the hand dryer was broken, which I was pretty pissed off about. And I saw the guy in front of me. He put his hand under there, waited for a while. He waited for too long, really. I was like, mate, give it up. We can all see what's happened here. And he's just standing there gawping. And eventually he fucks off and he wipes his hands on the back of his jeans. And that reminded me of that routine that Ben Elton did when he had that show. Was he called The Man from Auntie?
That's right, yeah.
And he used to do that. And it was really funny when it came out. And he did a whole fucking routine about hand dryers and how shit they were. Right.
Yeah.
I remember finding that really. Now that's the stuff of cliche observational 80s comedy. But at the time I found it very funny. And
it's the kind of observation like that one about middle-aged men doing podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy, but it's true. And he was the first person who said, you know, and I was thinking, because back then that was a joke that played, like all hand dryers are shit. Right, and they just and I was thinking that wouldn't work on anyone born after 1995, right?
Oh, because all he knows the good stuff.
They've just only fucking known high class hand dryers, but none of them are as good as.
There are still a few
Ridley
shit ones
Scott's.
Around here and there, though. Yeah. You know, not all establishments have caught up.
Well, some some have them broken.
You go to Sunderland Football Club, the hand dryers don't even fucking work anymore. Ugh. They haven't worked for months.
They don't give a fuck at football clubs about your hands or your hygiene.
We've said this before. You're just treated as the worst kind of scum.
Yeah.
As a football
it's only a matter
customer.
of time before they have cunts with fucking electric cattle prods fucking doing you in the nuts as soon as you walk through security.
Yeah. He's one of my favourites. from the same episode, which was called Ridley Scott's Hand Dryer. It's a merch idea for a mascot. a cloud of purple gas with a top hat. Potential name, Posh Gas. and it's from Peterborough. There you go. Oh man, I like that. Here's a TFTM event. TFTM live shows with Sam and Andy dressed as posh old men. 50 minutes of songs and 10 minutes of football chat. And also performing the song Diamond Lights,
of
as
course.
made famous by Waddle and Hoddle.
That basically came true. This was before we'd done a live event.
That.
And that is not a million miles away from the sort of stuff that goes on. Although 10 minutes of football chat wildly overestimates the amount that we'd talk at any of our events about football. Mind you, would anyone be interested in us doing a football special event where we just attempt to talk about football?
It would be impossible.
So it's like a spin-off thing. It's like when you do a tour, like I suppose bands sometimes do their main tour and then they do like an acoustic or unplugged, don't they? Or something like that. And we could do that. Yeah. We could go, right, okay, we're going to try and do some football shows. But only let us know, listeners, if you would find that interesting.
I don't think I could do that.
No, it'd be boring.
The final one for now from that same episode, Ridley Scott's Hand Dryer. Film TV idea. TV show hosted by Roy Keane and Graham Souness. They can talk about anything. They seek out anyone who is lazy, feckless, greedy, arrogant or vain in any walk of life. Sam and Andy brief them to get them angry with photos in an interrogation room until they are furious. They then proceed to hunt down the individual or individuals, beat them and punch them in the back of the head. And they slow motion walk off to the theme tune from Crown Court.
All I'd say is, right, this is September 18, right? And we were on to Roy Keane. Roy Keane now, it's another thing like white men doing podcasts, right? Or hand dryers not working. That's a cliche now to be into Roy Keane and his anger at everyone, right? Yeah. We were on that first. Roy Keane wasn't he was woefully underused by Sky and the other sports shows at the time. And we actually sort of did a special episode when we heard that he was going to be on with Souness. I remember that because it was rare. Since then, everyone got on to Roy Keane and now he's on it. If anything, he's overexposed now, I would say. Yeah.
Well, I did a piece for the Daily Mirror in about 2015, which is all about Roy Keane's insanity beard. Which is where I wrote how when he did his various TV appearances, you could gauge how insane he was at that given time by the length of his beard. Yeah, which would come and go. He used to have the beard that was fucking full on.
Yeah, like he looked like it was like a badger resting on his chin.
Yeah. And that kind of went back a bit from when he was at Sunderland as well. You could just tell how his mood was based on his facial hair. So we'll leave it there. I think it's been
enjoyable,
a successful launch to an Odyssey.
But enjoyable. We've got to mark our anniversary some way or another.
We got through 18 of the 633, so that's more than I thought we would.
Keep your eyes peeled on our Red Bubble because there'll be some T-shirts going up later today.
A lot of new T-shirts going out. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, and that's that.
That's that.